everybody. If you love Italian food, you are in store for a real treat. We are taking you back in time, so to speak. We're making pasta. We are not buying it in a box, but we're making it from scratch. We brought in an expert team, a mother and daughter team. They're from the Sons and Daughters of Italy of North Haven. We've got Carmela Castiglione and Laura Sabatino Parisi. Ladies, welcome.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Happy to be here. Good to be here.
We are excited to have you here because we are making pasta. Is that right?
Yes, we are.
And we were talking earlier, it's kind of a dying art. You're not finding folks making pasta from scratch anymore, right, Carmela?
Right. That's right.
They're not. Why is it? Is it because it's so difficult?
No, it's not difficult. It's the time. And it makes a mess. And it's fun.
It is fun. I mean, I've had a little fun. I've got them all floured up.
Yeah.
But Laura, how great is it? Your mother made it with her mother.
That's right.
And she makes it with you.
That's right. And that's what we try to convince the people that the culture, the Italian culture, is worth keeping up because the culture it's a dying thing. People aren't keeping up with the Italian traditions.
Well, let's get started because you have a lot of stuff going on here. We want to get you going, Miss Carmela. You've made a well for us. Walk our viewers through what the importance of this well making is for pasta.
Instead of using a bowl, we use the counter. I'm using a cutting board.
Okay.
We make I'm making my recipe of 3 cups of flour, which I made a pile, and then I made a well in the middle.
Okay.
I put my salt in there, which is a teaspoon of salt, and now we're going to I put 1 egg in already.
Okay.
We'll put 2 more eggs in.
All right. So we're doing a total of 3 eggs?
3
is that
eggs,
right, Carmela?
3 cups of flour.
Okay.
Teaspoon of salt.
All right.
And some water, which I'm going to start to scramble the eggs in here.
And we're doing all that in the center?
Right in the center. It's our own little bowl. It's a
How cool is that?
handmade bowl. Okay. Now we're going to add a little bit of water.
How much water?
About a quarter of a cup, maybe.
Okay. And you think anybody can do this?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Now stir it up?
Yep.
What is the goal here?
And
How do
if it
I want
starts to go out, you have to keep it in.
Okay, got it.
You want to start pulling back flour in from the sides.
Okay. Like this?
Yep. Just start going near the edges like this.
Help me out there.
And pull it in and start
keep pulling the flour in.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And as we're doing this, Laura, talk about the significance of this beautiful bed over here because I really thought that was so interesting.
Well,
okay.
I think my mother would like to speak about that, Mom.
Go ahead, Miss Carmela. She would know more about it than you and I.
That's Mom's thing. Well, my bed was the bed that was used for the pasta, so on Sunday mornings I always had to get up early and get my bed made before we went to church, because when we came home from church, that's what we did. When my mother would make the dough and roll it out into about this big piece of flat dough on the table, and she'd get it on a rolling pin and bring it to the bed and unroll it onto the bed.
On the bed?
It was flat, yes. Well, so it was a big round disc of pasta that was 1/4 of an inch or less thick. And she'd let it sit there for about half hour. Then she'd roll it back up onto the rolling pin, bring it out onto the table again, and then just slide the rolling pin out so it was still rolled up. And then she would cut noodles off the end. Oh, maybe this wide, half an inch maybe.
It's the stories like this that you make it worthwhile to preserve. I mean, that is history. I mean, it's part of your culture, you know?
Yeah.
Now, the significance of the bed is that when we're making pasta, you have your whole kitchen table filled with the dough and the flour and everything. So you don't have another place to spread out the pasta to dry. So what's the only other large place to
You got the bed.
The dough? So we'd put a sheet on the bed and spread the dough, the pasta on the sheet. And
now, Carmela, I am not a pro here, so Miss Carmela, you come on in here if you don't mind and help me out because I don't know what I'm doing over here.
Now we have to start to knead it.
We're going to knead it.
Okay.
Now, is that the texture we wanted? I mean,
well, we don't know yet.
Okay.
As we're kneading it, pulling the flour in, we have to roll it in like this.
Oh, you're a pro.
And then it becomes a ball of dough.
Oh, okay. Now, how long does this process usually take, this part of it?
Oh, maybe 7 or 8 minutes.
7 or 8 minutes.
And we don't have time to
Let's
do that
move
here.
over here, though, to the left side, because basically what happens here, Miss Carmela, is you knead it.
Yes.
And then does it come out looking like this?
It is
that what we want to do?
We have one made.
Okay. I love you ladies in the kitchen. I just feel like I'm in Italy right now. Okay. I love it. Who needs to go to Italy when I've got you ladies with me, right?
Now you're kneading. Now you're really kneading.
That's what it looks like.
This is what the dough will look like when it's finished kneading.
Okay. So get me going. What are we going to do now? You got that? Are you cutting it into pieces?
Yes. What we do is we first cut it into strips.
Okay. And it would look like this.
And it would look like this. And
beautiful.
Then we roll the strips. And we have to make them about this thickness.
Okay.
And then we're going to make cavatellis.
Okay, we're making cavatellis.
The dialect is cavatellis, so if I say cavatelli or cavatellis, it's all the same thing.
Okay, hey, listen, I'm following your lead.
Okay.
All right?
So what we do is we feed it in to this little hole here.
This is a real pasta maker.
Right. And you have to, this dough is a kneading, this board is a kneading board.
Okay.
So if you keep your body up against it,
Let me try it.
it doesn't let the board slide. So
Okay,
put
so
your
keep my
body up
body. I
against
got a
it.
lot of weight here, so I'm good.
Okay, and take your hand
Okay. Take my hand.
and crank it through.
Oh.
You're making
Oh
your
my
first
gosh.
cavatellis.
Ah! How cool is that? And this is what you're going to be doing at the Italian Festival in North Haven? You're doing demonstrations?
We're doing demonstrations, and we're letting people actually do what you're doing. Try making the cavatellis, and there's
This
the
is a lot of
cavatellis.
work. How cool is that? Now, how much of this would you be making, though? I mean, like this, you have to do this a lot. This is a lot.
And then we take them and put them on the bed to dry.
Okay,
yes,
we've got to go with time, so let's get over here to this machine. Bring that other machine over because I'll swap this one out.
Before we do that, we have one other machine.
Okay. This machine here, what is this?
It's just a board.
This is a board with grooves in it.
Okay.
That what you do is you take one piece of the cavatelli of the dough.
All right.
And then you take it.
Okay.
And you roll it.
And that's how you would do it by hand?
That's how you do it by hand.
Okay.
So, and it makes all the lines on it. Now, another way to do it is to take a fork. And this is the way my mother and grandmother used to do it.
Okay.
They would take it, make a ball of dough.
All right.
And then put it on the fork.
Okay.
And roll it with their thumb. And they would get the grooves on.
That's a lot of work, though, that goes into pasta. That's why a lot of folks don't make it from scratch.
So now we have the machines that make it a little faster.
Now, listen, we are really against time, so we want to make sure we show folks this. I would definitely give this to me.
Okay.
You go ahead and grab that one
other one.
there. Because the next one we're making, folks, is going to actually be, what is this? This one's for the raviolis, right? We're making raviolis? Look at here. My husband would be so proud to see me in this kitchen working it out like this. Okay. So this would be the raviolis.
Oh, Mom, we need a knife.
Now, what are we doing here? Let me pass you that knife over here. Where's that knife?
Right here.
Okay, let's see that knife. Now, listen, for folks at home who want to come out and support the festival, who want to have a great time, this is going to be a bash of a lifetime. Am I correct?
That's right.
Okay, go ahead and cut that. In the meantime, while she's cutting that, let's put the information on the screen, folks, because lots of fun in store for you out here at the Italian Festival of Angels, the Sons and Daughters of Italy, number 2805, the North Haven Green. It's August 21st and 22nd. They're going to show you how to make raviolis, cavadels, and everything else that you want to know about. Listen, ladies, we thank you so much. You go ahead and crank that little thing away. We'll get a shot of that. In the meantime, ladies, again, thank you.